I'm so happy today for our 126th live streaming episode to be here in Athens, Greece, with a person that I now consider my friend, Fanis Apatangelos. Fanis.
Very nice to meet you, Michael.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Fanis has also his birthday today, so that's a double prize here. So happy birthday.
Thank you
and you are turning?
I'm turning 37.
Since you're not a woman, I'm allowed to ask you.
Of course, you're free to ask anything you want, actually.
Let me say a few things. Fanis Apatangelos is the joint managing director, together with his brother Kosmas, of the multi-award visual communications company Kommigraphics Design Studio, or KDS for short. They have come a long way because they have won many awards, both on a local and global scale. They will be talking to us about it later on. And Theofanis started his career as a marketeer many years ago. You started from London, if I'm not mistaken.
I've started my studies actually from Leicester in the United Kingdom, and then I worked through other cities in the UK. So I stayed there for more than a decade actually, studying and working in the UK.
So it's good to have you here today. Just before we go and ask the questions of our day, and you're more than happy and more than welcome to send your questions, let me say a few things. If you share this episode, or if you mention someone you think is worth watching this episode, you get a chance to win a half-day holistic branding on print and new media consulting from Fanis, his brother Kosmas, and their team. And also 2 lucky winners will be winning their newsletter, their annual newspaper and newsletter. It will be signed by the whole Kommigraphics team, and we will mail it to you if you're in Athens or anywhere around the globe, signed by the guys here. So let me say a few other things. Our winners from last week's episode with John Vickers, the editor of Gold magazine, were Georgiana Hampton-Bilsea, whom she won the John Vickers CD and also his dictionary, and George Papaioannou, who has won the book, an excellent book, The Black Swan. And guys, please do get in touch with my personal assistant, Marina Diplaru, if you haven't done so. Last but not least, we have only 2 seats left for our Address for Success Speaking in Public workshop, which is going to take place at the Four Seasons Hotel. It applies to managers, thought leaders, managers of big units, smaller units, and everyone who wants to communicate and connect with their audience. 2 seats left out of the 20, and I will be posting a link after this episode is finished if you want to enroll. So let's get back to work. And the first question, my dear friend Fanis, is the following. Kommigraphics has won multiple awards for its detailed and custom design, its pixel perfect results, as well as its overall creativity. So what percentage of this creativity is attributed to a solo performance, to a talented individual or individuals, and what percentage of these awards and this success is attributed to teamwork?
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me for such an interesting meetup, actually. That's how I would like to see it. It's a meetup. It's a great pleasure to meet you and to be part of this excellent initiative that you have with the live interviews, which is really an eye-opener for a lot of people, I suppose, including myself, because I'm very impressed from what you've done so far, and I'm sure the future is going to bring even more success.
I'm very honored. Very honored.
As the birthday boy. Okay, back to your question now. Kommigraphics Design Studio is a visual communication company, and we do a lot of stuff in terms of design, consulting and marketing, and bringing up some brands doing rebranding online and offline as well. As we already know, and most of us know, being within the creative industry, of course, we have to be very creative. So that we can be successful within this very competitive market. But on the other hand, being creative, as hard as it is, it needs to be a teamwork, basically, based initiative within any kind of environment. Of course, there's a process that needs to be set and a process that needs to be aligned within any company, and including ours, Kommigraphics Design Studio. There's the creative and art directors that guide the team, But of course, every single one of our team is an individual, and they have their individual concept, their individual, if you wish, creativity levels, which are being free to be discussed within the team, within the 3 different departments that we have: marketing, design, and development. And that gives us the option to discuss openly any kind of idea and then conclude to a specific concept and idea overall. So I would say that this is a teamwork effort, being creative, including the individual's perspective of the concept and the idea.
So if I understood well, talented individuals who work together in a team.
Exactly.
To bring
that's the key. Talented individuals, you put it right there. Talented individuals that work together within a team.
Excellent.
A team that has got, I'm sorry to
yes,
A
please.
team that is very important to understand, that a team should have a specific scope, a specific aim, and a specific vision.
Specific scope, aim, and vision. Excellent. Let's say hi to two people from Limassol, Evis and Marina.
Hello, everyone.
And Memnia Theodoru, who also appeared on this show, says hi from the United Kingdom.
Oh, hello. Hi there.
Well done for interviewing in Athens. Yes, to find Theofanis, we had to travel all the way to Athens.
Thank you very much for that. And we're in a great location as well as Acropolis, just outside the window, actually. We can see Acropolis from the window.
So guys, you can join us if you like. Drinks are on Fanis. It's his birthday, so you're more than welcome. We'll give you the address of Kommigraphics. Fanis, second question, because there are questions coming in from our fans, but I'll ask you the second question of the day. How difficult is it to be super creative and come out with work that will make headlines and cause waves of disruption and differentiation when the bar is raised higher and higher and higher as a result of the many awards that you have deservedly landed in your trophy cabinet?
That's a question. That's a question, an important question actually, because one could not actually answer to this question with just one word, whether it's difficult or not. Of course, creativity and being creative is always difficult, but it's always a constant join of different factors. Basically, if you think that we're actually in a difficult situation here in Greece right now just because of the so-called crisis, and we have different social, economic, political, cultural difficulties, let's say, out there, because the crisis has actually affected everyone in a personal level and in business level, in a market level, and everything else as well. Such socio-economic, let's say, and political changes within the everyday life appears to affect creativity and design. What we have to do, though, is not to stay only at the negativity of this kind of influences that are being brought to our everyday conscious and life, but we have to see the happy moments that always exist within our everyday life. And that's where we actually, as a team and as a person, as well as Cosmas, my brother, the co-managing director of Kommigraphics, we always want to strive and pick up the best of everyday's events. So basically, we are trying to be happier, we're trying to be more creative, we're trying to solve problems, as that's what design does. Design actually solves problems of brands. That's what its use is, actually. If you want to just explain it, a little further, I could. And that's what we do. We're trying to solve problems and not get ourselves even deeper to the everyday problems and routine. So we pick up the happy moments and we kind of try and travel our thoughts and processes through design.
So creativity is very much about being happy. And if you're happy, and that manifests also into your work, not only in your face, but also in your work.
Exactly. You know what? Because it's very important what you've just mentioned. I think we should mention that once again. Being happy within a workplace makes you creative, no matter what you do. So being a creative person and working within the creative industry, you obviously need to be happy with your life.
So a good design solves problems, a bad design most probably causes problems. So the guys here are awarded for the good design. Georgiana Hapton Bilsea says happy birthday to Fanis.
Thank you very much, Georgiana.
Best regards from Limassol. Have fun with Mr. Virardi. They see you young, they see me a bit older. What can I do? I'll make it up. I'll make it up next year when I'm back.
I might be looking older.
I think you're looking younger. And I know, I don't think so. Evis Zenios is asking a question.
Right.
Are you in the visual communications industry? And what is your view about augmented reality commercials through VR gaming and shopping?
Okay. That's very interesting because I understand, I didn't get the name actually.
Evis,
thank you very much for your question. The visual communication company that we have here actually have 3 different departments, as I said at the start of the discussion: marketing, design, and development. The visual communication is a holistic process that somebody needs to understand in an in-depth level, so that they can understand why the purpose of the process and the produced design. Now, back to your actual question, whether we see an expansion of
yes,
what was the
visual communication industry. What is your view about augmented reality commercials through VR gaming and shopping?
Okay, the e-commerce is something that is actually coming up very fast, and I think e-shopping is going to catch up with the physical departments, with the physical shopping process very soon. Let me explain that for just 1 second. Just because, I mean, there's a specific example that I want to show, and that's what I always say when I'm consulting different people in terms of marketing and online marketing and design. If I go up to a specific shop and see that, okay, this glass looks very nice, and I touch it, this is an experience that I actually experienced in real life. But the change of the game now with the internet and the online shopping is that actually people get their views validated through internet, and that's very important to understand, because whether if I go to a shop and see such a glass and I like it, then I'll go onto the internet, and that's more than 80% of users right now, between a specific, of course, demographic profile, and I will validate my view by searching what other people thought of this specific view as I see it.
Excellent, I understand what you mean. So other people are creating the experience through their lens, coming through your eyes and understanding it. So excellent. Germanos Eftimiadis, it's encouraging to see young entrepreneurs and companies doing well today in Greece. He's talking about you.
Thank you very much.
Well done to Theofanis, and thank you, Michael Virardi, for showing us a very good example. It's my pleasure, Germanos. Regards from a Greek living in Limassol, my hometown, and a Greek from perhaps from your town.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I hope next time we come to Limassol, because we travel quite a lot to Cyprus. We might get the chance, if you wish, to catch up for a coffee and have a chat.
Very interactive episode today. Thank you very much. Double question for you.
Please.
Fanis, where do you get your inspiration as a person, but where does your team as Kommigraphics get their inspiration?
That's a very nice question, and thank you for asking this question, Michael. I'll speak in a personal level and as a team as well, because I manage the team actually, myself and Cosmas, and what we strive to do here is actually to get our inspiration from our everyday life. Get our inspiration from our everyday life means that there should be a specific procedure, because being inspired by something, it means that you have to search for something and get inspired by it. So basically, the inspiration that me personally and the team as well, we strive and we try to force the team in a positive way to get this through research. Now, the interesting part of the research procedure is that somebody can get inspiration from a primary research, meaning basically getting a book or going to the bookshop or going out there, getting a primary research done. You can do secondary research, basically research what other people search for, okay? And you can also have, and that's something that I always say in my speeches, the experiential research. And the experiential research is something that is extremely important for somebody to understand how it actually affects its inspiration, its everyday inspiration, not only in a creative way, but its inspiration as a person, as an everyday living human being. The experiential research is something that exists in our everyday life, in what we see. It's something that we call, it's coming to us as a subconscious thought, and in my opinion, somebody should, if they want to expand their inspirational ability, they should actually try and understand what this experiential inspiration means on the subconscious. And we are directors of our everyday life. Things happen and don't happen for, on their own. Things happen for a reason. And things happen for a reason because we have dreams. And our dreams belong to our subconscious. And our subconscious belongs to our everyday life. So there's an interactive connectivity between dreaming, directing our everyday life, and understanding our subconscious that actually becomes real facts within our everyday life.
Excellent.
I don't know whether
excellent explanation.
Okay.
I found it very interesting, and we are the actors of our own lives, and I like the directors of our everyday life. Exactly. Excellent. Theofanis, we're in Athens, so I'm tempted to ask a successful businessman, together with your brother and your team, of course, a question, because you've lived now for many years. Taking into account the Greek crisis, which has been long prolonged, and I have a feeling it will continue to go on and on. My question is, how does a business, a Greek business or a business in Greece, survive and thrive in such an environment?
Okay, I would like to say that this question is actually because we speak to a lot of people internationally. Obviously, we don't only work with companies in Greece, we work with other companies from New York to Dubai, so throughout the globe. This question always comes up because of the Greek crisis, because of the difficulties that everybody is aware of, and unfortunately, we also see that it's going to continue for a long, long time. But on the other hand, there are solutions. There is a way to survive within this kind of,
which is?
Turmoil, let's say, the Greek crisis. Being truthful actually is the quick answer and the truthful answer without expanding our answer to this too much. Being truthful. And what does that mean? Being truthful to your clients, being truthful to yourself, and being truthful to your core workers, basically to your team. So the truthfulness of this situation basically is being honest, and that's the bottom line of it, being honest with who you are and what you do. But then again, being honest with who you are, it means that you have accepted a lot of criticism and you are able to understand an environment which is problematic and you are part of it. So basically, it's a self-criticism process, understanding that you are part of a system that you need to get out of it with being truthful to the whole market, not only as a client, but as a person, as a shopper, as a client of others, as a personal relationship with other people, as an employee, or as a director or whatever. So being truthful is the bottom line, and the honesty within a company and its clients is the key to keep up and keep yourself within the market game.
Just a side and short answer to a short question. How does being truthful, how do you define being truthful with your clients in terms of, give me one or two specific examples.
Okay, I can give you quite a few examples actually, but just because of our time is quite limited, I'll give you one or two examples. Let's say being truthful to the client means that you have no hidden costs. So you can't really send, because our job is not only to design but also to consult businesses how to actually evolve their branding, because people come here just because, not only because they like our design, but because they like what we do as a company, and they want results. So for somebody to have results, they need to have a specific understanding of what they need to do in terms of what is going to be produced for them. So what is going to be produced for them is not only design, is extra services that they need to be aware of, and of course extra services always is time and time costs. So they need to have no hidden costs within a discussion. We have to be very open with our clients, and we have to accept that it's up to them to decide whether they're going to work with us or not.
I've seen your work with Bankernet because I recently trained their team. I've seen your videos, I've seen their website, and I have to take my hat off to you. Congratulations. Konstantinos Sofronis, two of our most trusted communication partners. He's talking about yourself and your brother. Oh, together, he's talking about me. Here in BMS United, we are enjoying your conversations. Konstantinos, thank you, because it's because of you that I have come across Fanis, and we connected.
Thank you live. Konstantinos, I've talked to you anyway. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for connecting us. What are the 2 books that have positively changed your life? 2 questions before the end. What are 2 books that have positively changed your life?
2 books that have positive. Actually, there's a lot of books to someone's life, if you like reading, that positively affect your life. Because you know, if you read something and you keep on reading it, that's going to positively affect your life. Otherwise, you just stop it. You know, it's your choice. But for the 2 books that I could actually remember from the top of my mind is one that I cannot even right now remember the title or the author of it, but I'll tell you just a little story if you don't mind.
We don't mind. We're enjoying it.
I was actually 15 years old when I started reading about marketing and advertising, and that's a true story. 15 years old, reading about marketing and advertising, and I walked into a bookstore, of course with my parents. And I found a book that was actually, you know, it captured my view, and it was actually talking about advertising and marketing and branding. So I bought that book. My parents bought that book for me, and I sat down and read it. And that's the moment where my life changed, because that's when I decided that this is what I want to do, and. What I want to do, and what I'm going to be doing for the future is basically marketing and communication, and that's something that was really a life changer for me.
It's unbelievable to find your bliss and your blessing. The second book, please.
The second book that I recently I was handed over a very nice book by my brother. It's called the Find Your Giant Within, or something like that.
Tony Robbins.
It's Tony Robbins, yes. Another great inspirational speaker. That's something that really it didn't quite change my life, of course, but it actually gave me quite a lot of examples of how to get better within my life.
Unbelievable.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Yes.
Fanis, before I do a conclusion and we draw to a close, I would like you to tell us a final message for all our friends and fans.
Okay.
Final message.
Final message, but the final message, of course, you know, I feel a little bit kind of, you know, embarrassed for me to give a final message to our fans. But on the other hand, the best that we could actually say right now after this kind of discussion is guys, we have to stay truthful to ourselves. We have to stay honest with ourselves and the people around us, so that we give a chance for something better to come. Not only within a specific market or a specific country, but if you think about it, you know, an overall, if that was an overall ideology, being actually truthful and making it happen, everything would be much better for everyone.
Fanis, before doing a recap and closing, I would like to present you with a small present. It's from George Lois, the Greek who has caused waves in the United States with his revolutionary work. He is the creator of The Big Idea on branding and advertising. It's called A Damn Good Advice. I highly recommend it, but there is a catch. There is a catch. At the end here, it was handed to me by Valentina Dumaniu from DEPAC, our university in Limassol. After you finish reading this, you have to write your name, surname, your email, and how you can help people, and then hand it to somebody in another country.
That's fantastic.
This came from a Jew. This idea came from a Jew. You will see all my writing in here. So this is my present to you for your birthday.
Thank you very much indeed, Mike.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much.
And let me say, dear friends and fans, that the giant within has been found in Athens, Greece. His name is Theofanis Apatangelos. He told us to be the directors of our everyday life because life is consisting of dreams and we have to make those dreams come true. He said that the secret behind everything is to be truthful to yourself, be truthful to your customers, but also be truthful to your internal customers, who are the guys you see back here, who have contributed to Kommigraphics' success. He also told us that if you have happy coworkers, then creativity starts pushing from there and it will drift onto each and everyone. He talked about primary research, reading books, secondary research, reading what other people have said, and last but not least, experiential research, because we have to experience life in its own unique way and come up with our own conclusions. I would like to finish with a quote from Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players of all times, because this is what came to mind while you were speaking. It takes an individual to win a game, but it takes a team to win the championship. Well done, Kommigraphics, and well done, Fanis. Thank you very much for everything. It's a pleasure. See you all next week, dear friends and fans. Bye.
Bye-bye.